Hi, welcome to this week's UMIP Community Review call. We've only got one UMIP to review this week, which is from Volatility Protocol. I'll just share my screen. So we have an UMIP in here, which would integrate the volatility DAO Oracle as a first step before things are escalated to the UMA Oracle.
So this is actually just for the price identifier.
Mhm.
So there's like, you're going to have like a separate system on top that just interacts with optimistic Oracle, but that doesn't take any sort of like registration or anything. So this is purely for their price ID.
Yes, and what probably would be better also to clarify which optimistic Oracle contract is planned to be used for this price identifier, because I'm not sure if it's explicitly stated that it's the optimistic Oracle contract, or the project team is looking for some alternative contracts to be registered.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, from our conversations with them, I don't think they're looking for anything to be registered, but I think they're going to use the skinny optimistic Oracle, but agree. Like,
yes, that's mostly because I got a bit confused that they refer to the proposed price call to the optimistic Oracle, and it kind of implicitly assumes that it's not requested, or request comes in the same call as proposal. That's not used like that in optimistic Oracle contract, rather in I think in skinny optimistic Oracle contract uses that pattern. So that would be just good to clarify that indeed they're intending to use it in classic optimistic Oracle.
It's a good point.
Yes, that I think it also might be a good idea to avoid using magic number, the same one, for handling invalid requests, as we have the same number used in other price identifiers. I mean, it's not mandatory, but it could be like confusing in some cases that there is overlap.
What are they using the magic number?
They're using magic number for responding to invalid price requests. So, like if the ancillary data is formed incorrectly. So, I think it's a good idea to have a magic number for this purpose, but maybe it should be just a different value than what we have already for dealing with handling early expirations in other price IDs.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I feel like it should just kind of be independent for each price ID, and like the reason why that magic number was chosen is because like,
yeah, it could be also the same. Yeah, it just might be confusing to some, but yeah, it's not mandatory. And I think one other small issue that needs to be clarified is how to round down the timestamp intervals, because from reading their method doc, it seems that the methodology for calculating indices is in strict price intervals. So there should be some instructions for how to round down that request timestamp.
sorry, Rainus, Vari's computer died.
Oh, okay.
Did you respond to the magic number thing or hear what I was saying?
Sorry?
Did you
No.
respond to the magic number thing or hear what I was saying?
No, sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh, I was just saying I wasn't sure how I felt about like changing it, because like in a way that's like more confusing, right? And it seems like if it's like, I don't know, independent per like price identifier, then just having like one value where it's like, oh, we can't actually respond to this at all seems like, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It's a bit unclear because yeah, just looking forward for any like future upgrades to optimistic Oracle that might happen in some time. So from that perspective, I thought maybe it could be confusing, but I agree. Yeah, I also see the point that why it should maybe it should be the same one.
I guess like imagine their volatility index was used in like an LSP, then I guess you're right. Like that could kind of present a problem.
Right.
Like an LSP with malformed ancillary data.
Yes, that's true, but that's not the intention here. So kind of even though of course the LSP can be deployed with this price identifier, but what would be like yeah, no, it actually, yeah, it could be confusing because there is like a risk that somebody just deploys such contract like LSP and puts on the early expiration flag and then just requests the price through optimistic Oracle, and there's dispute, and voters might be confused on how to actually to respond to such price requests. It's kind of theoretical edge case, but still.
Yeah, very theoretical. But it seems like a decent practice to use a different number than if it's not for like early expiration.
Yeah, because of that reason, I think. Yeah.
Cool. I don't really have any preference for what the value is, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it can be even like +1, for example.
Yeah, for sure.
And one more issue was clarifying the rounding of the request timestamps, because from the methodology, I have impression that their scripts and their methods calculate volatility indices in predefined time intervals. So user who is requesting and making the IPFS hash request should first round down the request timestamp.
Yep. And we talked about that with them on like the previous call, right?
Yes. So just I will have to comment on that here as well.
Cool. I mean, other than that, like generally it looked good to me, right?
Yes.
So
Yes, I think it's doable to upgrade.
Sweet.
So the outcome is good to go, but with minor adjustments?
Yep.
Or to the magic number and to the rounding?
Yep. Just responding to the comments that Rainus left, I think, and also clarifying the usage with like the optimistic Oracle, like what contract is actually being used. Sweet.
Cool. Thanks very much. Thanks for attending.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.